All right. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Kiki.
Kiki. Our dog is here with us. Sometimes, she wants to be a part of the live. So, and I think she's over it. Hey, Rhea. Happy Friday. How you doing?
Good morning, Rhea.
How's everything going today? It's nice and overcast in our neighborhood, and we're really happy about that because we don't really like the heat so much. So what's on the agenda for Friday? I know you have a busy schedule with work. And what's your goal for today when it comes to reselling? We're getting a little closer there with the title there. So now we'll know we can bring it down a little bit more so the video doesn't cover it.
Okay.
So Riasel says busy teleworking. Yeah, we're going to be doing that too in a few minutes. But it's nice. We love teleworking.
Yeah, we're getting used to it, so I can't imagine going back to work now.
I know. Like, we save so much time not commuting.
Yeah, not commuting and just having the extra time to do more things. So Riasel says she wants to list more on eBay. She just sold something on Posh. Yay!
Congratulations! Was that your first sale on Poshmark? How much more do you need to list on eBay? Oh yeah, also gas money.
Gas money.
We're saving on that. We're saving on wear and tear of the car. I wish we could just, have our insurance lowered, but they have not done that for us.
And we're saving money on food because I would buy food all the time when I go to work. She said she has 1 billion more items to list.
So are you currently sourcing right now? How's the sourcing thing going? Michelle, I'm typing, so you have to take over here.
So, good morning, TrishVan99. How are sales going for you? How are our sales? Our sales are a little bit slow this week, huh?
Well, our sales, have you been doing your 17 a day?
I have not.
Well, there you go.
Been working on other stuff.
That's why. So You do have to work the sales. Like, you do have to relist every day. And Michelle just confessed that our sales were slow this week because we're not listing 17 a day. So do you think today we could get it done?
Yeah.
How about no game night unless 17? 17, we do 17 a day on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. Etsy if applicable. And then we do 5 on OfferUp and 5 on Facebook Marketplace. So do you think you could do that?
I'll try.
She'll try. Well, do you want good sales on?
Yes.
On Monday we only have 2 days.
Yes.
And then we discuss our sales. All right. So Trish Van has 12 sales for June so far. She said meh, so I guess it could be better, huh? And Riasel says I'm sourcing from my daughter's closet. How awesome is that?
Good strategy.
That's always nice. And good morning, the Velvet Hanger. How are you today?
So we're going to talk about estate sales today. Have you guys been to an estate sale? Have you guys sourced from an estate sale? Let us know your experience. Let's chat about our experience. So if you have any questions, please click on the little question mark icon. Let's chat about estate sale. So what was your experience, Marina, at an estate sale?
Well, we only started going to estate sales recently because we're looking for places to source. And when we started back in October 2018, we primarily love garage sales, right? But of course, those are only on the weekends. And anyway, we were venturing out to estate sales at that time, and we fell in love. We found a lot of gems and treasures.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's really, really cool to be able to do an estate sale. And yeah, so our best estate sale find, we're going to tell you about ours. But if you've ever been to one, share what yours was. So Riasel has never been, but she's always been interested. How about everyone else? How about Trish Van 99 or the Velvet? Am I reading that right? The Velvet Hanger. Have you guys ever gone estate sailing? And what was your experience like? So now with everything going on, we're still estate sailing, but we're doing it online. Mm-hmm. We're just we don't need to do it as much because we have a lot of inventory.
So let's talk about what is an estate sale. So an estate sale, yes.
Yeah, really fast. Trish99 said no, she's never been, and the Velvet Hanger have never been either. So
Cool.
that's kind of exciting. It's definitely something you guys should give a try if you're able to.
So what is an estate sale? An estate sale is also called a tax sale, which I've never heard of in some parts of the country. It's a way of liquidating the belongings of a family of our estate. These are usually much more than garage and yard sales. They are used when someone is in need of a way to downsize, get rid of their item, downsize. Either they have a divorce, bankruptcy, or death. So in our experience, most of the estate sales we went to are because someone passed away.
Yeah, Trish99 said we live on a reservation near a smaller city, so no estate sales here. Understand that. How far is the nearest big city to you? Also, Michelle recently sourced some items from an online estate sale.
Yes.
Was it just like a sale or was it like an auction style
So
sale?
a lot of the estate sales are now doing a bidding system, so they're auction style because of the social distancing. A lot of places are starting to open up now, and they're stopping that. But there are still plenty of websites where you can actually bid online.
So Trish599 said Phoenix is 45 minutes away. That's not too bad. We live east of Los Angeles. It's been a while, but we've been known to drive out about an hour for some estate sales in like Hollywood and those higher end areas. It's definitely worth it if you plan it right and you go to a few.
Yeah.
You might be surprised because we generally, if you find a good estate sale, you stay there for like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's easy to do that. So, gosh, if you guys want to give yourself a gift, give that a try. But if you're doing the social distancing thing, which we are, we're going to hop on a couple of virtual estate sales after this live. They're online. You can just Google them.
Yeah.
But anyway, like what Michelle said, it's been our experience that most of the estate sales we go to are because somebody has passed away and the family, it's like the easiest thing for them to do is hire a company that sells all of the belongings. So, since nobody's been to an estate sale that's on our live, so let's describe it for them a little bit.
Okay.
What does it look like from the very beginning to kind of the end of the process?
I'm not sure about that.
So it's actually, if you think about it, it's like a massive, massive garage sale. Literally, the moment you step into the driveway, there's just like plenty of things laid out everywhere, from plates to cups to clothes.
Okay, sorry, but when you get there, you have to get there early.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to write your name on a piece of paper. So there's like an order to it. You don't just randomly go like a garage sale. Like you have to write your name on a piece of paper. It's first come, first serve. Or sometimes they'll give you a number. And so let's say we try to aim to get there at like 7 or like, let's say it starts at 9, right? So we'll aim to get there at 7 a.m. if there's something we really want. So they usually put pictures ahead of time online so you can see the night before the estate sale or even a week before if it's gonna be a good one for you to go to or not. So, we look for some vintage items. We had amazing scores. We look at the pictures. We say, okay, the pictures here are awesome. We want to get those like vintage cameras or whatever. So we need to be there at 7. And then you wait in line for a couple hours, right? And when it's 9 o'clock, then you line up in order. So it's very orderly. Then you can go inside of the estate sale.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. So good morning, Eco Exchange. Have you ever been to an estate sale before?
Okay. So we're sharing some tips and tricks so you know what to do when you go to an estate sale. Number 1 is really look online and look at the photos that they post. That's the difference between a garage sale and an estate sale is that you get to see pretty much most of the items. They actually take time to take photos of the good items online. So do your research, look at the prices in other places and see what you're willing to pay for. So when you show up, let's say you want to have that vintage camera, you know my maximum price for that is $20 or $50. And so you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, that's true. You have the opportunity to find the items and do the research before you go to the sale. It's not like every item. Sometimes it's hard to tell the name of the brand of the item, so you kind of just have to risk it and go, but sometimes you can see the name of the item. Okay, so number 2 is beat the crowd, show up as early as possible.
Yeah.
So when we have gone, we see very seasoned estate sale kind of buyers there, and they're the earliest ones. So
yeah.
that's really important to do that at an estate sale.
Especially if it's a good one. I think we went to one where there's a person who collects all the vintage Disney stuff. So we try to show up really early, but then there were people there already super early. So
yeah.
That was a crazy one.
Yeah, if there's good stuff there, you're going to have a lot of people already there.
Cool. So number 3 is haggle strategically. So the best thing to do at an estate sale is gather all the things you want to buy, put it in a pile, don't talk about pricing, and when you're ready to pay, you offer a price, and you say, I'll do, I don't know, 40 for all of these items. So once you start there and you kind of give them a price, so they're not gonna like kind of, what do you call it?
Actually, to be honest though, most of the estate sales, everything will be priced already. Like everything will have a price, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, what Michelle's saying is grab all of the inventory. And this is what we do this as a strategy. So here's a strategy for you guys. We grab all the inventory, we calculate how much it is, right? So let's say we grabbed a bunch of items and it's supposed to be $90. Then we'll discuss, hey, what's the lowest you'll do? Let's make them an offer. Let's say, hey, will you take $70 for all of this, right? And they will often, not always, but they will often, negotiate with you and bring it down a little bit, especially because you're taking home a lot of things.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that happened with us, as Michelle said, at this estate sale where there was like a big Coca-Cola collector. We had a lot of items, and they gave us a little deal there.
Yeah, because keep in mind, these guys want to get rid of their items. So they're the same as people who are having a garage sale. They would want to get rid of them. So you give them a good offer and they'll let it go.
Good morning, Shanice Lizardo. Happy Friday to you.
Good morning.
So yeah, and then you'll also find out there's like 4-day estate sales, 3-day, 2-day, and 1-day. My favorite ones are the 1-day estate sales because those...
We're going to talk about that.
Okay, so I guess we'll talk about it more in a minute.
Cool.
Good morning, My Web Promos. Happy Friday.
So the next thing is make sure when you get any electronics or any mechanical items, vintage mechanical items, test all of them before you pay. If they don't, let's say I bought a cassette player and they didn't have a cassette tape to test it, you actually have leverage to haggle and bring down the price because you tell them, hey, I don't know if it works. I'll pay $1 for it, and they'll let it go. So definitely test everything you buy.
100%, yeah. All right, so make sure you bring enough cash. A lot of these are cash only, and you don't want to like miss out on items, right?
At times we have to go to the ATM because we didn't have enough cash.
Exactly. But thankfully there are 2 of us, so one of us can stay there while the other one goes to the bank. But it wastes a lot of time, and we don't recommend it. If you guys are enjoying this, please hit the like button. Thank you guys so much.
Cool. Now you talk about the days.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the days now, right? So like, again, if it's an item you really want, that you're gonna get a lot of money for, go on the first day, hands down. But if you kind of are like, it's just okay. There's some items I like those Disney items, but I'm not super like gung-ho interested in them. They're not going to make me a ton of money. You can go on the 3rd day, right? You can go on the 3rd day and see what didn't sell. There are also though some expensive items that didn't sell all weekend because they were so expensive. So when you go on the last day, you have a lot of leverage to negotiate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, as I was mentioning before, there's 4-day sales, 3-day, 2-day, 1-day. The 1-days are the best because they want to get everything out of there that day. And that's the one where we got really good deals with the Coca-Cola collector's items. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah, usually the last day is 50% off or even more if you buy more things.
Exactly.
So, yes. So there's our strategy. So the next thing we want to talk about is don't buy on impulse. And this happened with us many, many times. I think it happens at garage sales too. But at estate sales, there are usually a lot of vintage items and they're all collectible items. They may not worth money, but they're really cool looking and it really makes you want to buy them. I've purchased a couple of items on impulse before.
Yeah, it's hard to resist because it looks so shiny and beautiful.
Rare.
But they're usually really expensive and not worth buying. So Echo Shane says, yes, I've been to estate sales. Right on. Please, comment on there. Give us feedback if you have something to let us know about. And my web promos, have you been to an estate sale before? And Shane Lizardo, have you been to an estate sale before? Yeah, I do want to touch on this really fast because when you go to an estate sale, especially if it's like a collector's house, you're going to see all those beautiful shiny items and you're going to be drawn to them. Like it's just unavoidable.
You call them eye candy.
Eye candy. Yeah, I always say, Michelle, stay away from the eye candy because they're beautiful, they're shiny, they're expensive. But when everyone's standing around the eye candy, I'm in the closets looking for clothes, shoes, belts that no one cares about. They're not that interesting to them, but I'm looking for some like quality stuff to sell on Poshmark. So good morning, Women of Valor, She 31. Happy Friday.
Good morning. All right, so the last thing, second to the last thing is be kind, When you line up, it's always like, it feels like Black Friday. You always kind of want to like be the first to get in there. But the estate sale people are actually watching and they want to make sure that everyone is being respectful. Another thing is a lot of these estate sale organizers are the same people. So you're probably going to see them many times from the first time you go to. And make friends with them, be friends with them. And that is another strategy that could kind of help you get your prices down too. They might give you a good deal. Yeah,
or they might call you if they know that you particularly care about buying certain items because they always ask for your email address and your name. Good morning, Nakia Ray. Happy Friday. So yeah, definitely that's a good tip. To make friends with them. Also, if you guys have a resale license, we got one in for California. I think it was, I almost want to say it was free to get it. But when you go to the estate sale, you bring your license with you and then you don't have to pay tax, right? And you guys may already know that, but anyone can get a resale license. And yeah, it's always good to make those relationships.
So Marina briefly talked about this online bidding. So go to estatesales.org. There are plenty of estate sales that are happening. A lot of them are also online. So depending on the time frame they put, sometimes they're 31 days, sometimes there's a week. Watch your items that you're interested in and bid on the item last minute, but make sure you have a price you want to make in mind that you want to pay for. And we actually won a couple of items. If it's a good deal, no one's watching it, no one's bidding on it, they start from $1. So we bought a coffee grinder for $1. We bought some army patches from like North Carolina. So online estate sale is a thing. There are also the other kind, which is you go on Facebook and the estate sale people would take their camera and they would go live and take you through all the other different items, and they call it by lot. So let's say lot number 1 is a lot of clothes. You're not really gonna see what brands they are. Sometimes they're nice, they would show you, but they don't have time to do that. And what you do is if you want to buy that lot, you just type in, lot number 1 for $25.
Well, whatever price they get, they'll tell you what it costs. And if you're the first person to type it, you win the lot.
Yeah.
So we did that. It's so much fun. It's a little dangerous because
Yeah.
it's so easy to do.
And you look at our haul video from last week. We bought a bunch of stuffed animals.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Stuffed animals and stationaries from there. And that's from a live estate sale.
Yeah, those are really fun. We're looking forward to joining. They have 4 of them right now, so we're gonna hop on.
There's one at 9.
There's 3 at 9
Pacific
so,
time. 3
yeah.
at 9, yeah.
So anyway, check out your Facebook groups, and last but not least, we have this meme here. It says estate sale. All the stuff my kids said they don't want to inherit. And honestly though, isn't that the truth though, right?
It's
so the truth. But,
yeah.
but for us, they're treasures, and we've, when we go in there, you go into the home with like a lot of respect for the lives that were living there, and it's really like an experience if you haven't done it.
And the coolest thing is you are rehoming these vintage items to other collectors. So
Exactly.
other people would really appreciate you getting those items too.
That's right. Awesome. Well, do you guys have any questions for us about estate sales? Have we made you curious enough to possibly check them out online?
Guys are really fun. Like every time we go to one, we don't know what to expect. And we feel like we walk into a museum.
We have not yet said what our best find was though. And by the way, if you guys have been to estate sales and you bought stuff, would you let us know what your best find was in the comment section? So Woman of Valor, she 31 said, I am. That's awesome.
What was your best find?
Our best find, hands down, was a packet of original NASA photos from 1969 year when man went on the moon. So look at the history on that. We found really amazing condition, like mint condition. I think it was 10 pictures. There's pictures in there well worth, a couple grand. We didn't sell it for a couple grand. We sold it to collectors. They're probably, we gave them a really good deal, but those are our best finds.
So tell us, how did you find them?
Okay, I gotta tell you how they were found so that you guys might find them too. So I found them at an estate sale in a garage with stationery, and you would have never known that they were there, but I love stationery. So I went through all the stationery and I found them. So
that's crazy, because no one would go into the pile of stationery.
No one ever goes into stationery except for me, because I'm a teacher and I love school and I love stationery. So
we have some posts on our Instagram page with some of the examples of the NASA photos.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to check it out, scroll.
But
down.
our second favorite find were vintage newspapers. Also,
yes,
that was really amazing.
We got 3 boxes of vintage newspapers
for $15.
$15. And it includes all the major historical events: man landing on the moon, John F. Kennedy got shot, just amazing history. And we've sold a newspaper for over $100.
Yeah. So we do have an article on Medium if you want to check it out about the newspapers and about the the pictures that I'm talking about. So yeah, go ahead and check us out on Medium. We have 2 articles written about it with pictures. We thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful Friday morning, and we hope you have a wonderful Friday, and we will see you guys tomorrow at a later time.
At 10:30 Pacific time tomorrow.
Exactly. All right. Have a wonderful day. Oh, you just saw the...
We have one question. Would you respond to her?
Okay, sorry. We do have a question, and you guys are looking at our home. But anyway, it says, which websites do you use to sell? Also, would this be something to replace a 9-to-5? Okay, excellent questions. Please follow Hustle and Hooks, Instagram, hustle_hooks. I want you guys to check out this couple because they started selling only 9 months ago. They just brought in $4,500 in profit. They're doing amazing. We do it part-time. It can definitely replace a 9-to-5. It depends where you live in the country, how much work you put in, and how strategic you are. So Woman of Valor, She 31, if this is your first time joining us, please feel free to message us.
Yeah.
And also just continue joining us on a daily basis. Check out our podcast. This will be uploaded to our podcast, The Flippin' Gals, on Apple podcast, Spotify podcast, and we also have a YouTube channel, Flippin Gals. So again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your questions, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.